He was tall, good looking, covered in tattoos. Every person's dream man. He had a beautiful fiance, a beautiful baby, a beautiful home, a $40 million contract. But was he a serial killer? Let's find out right now. Happy Thriller Thursday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne-Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrincou, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. Hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best. And you are ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are you drinking your water? Are you staying hydrated? Are you getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you are going to have an amazing, wonderful day. I promise you. And as always, thank you for joining me on this Thriller Thursday. I am so happy that you are with me today. And today we're going to discuss part 2 of Aaron Hernandez. Several people describe Aaron Hernandez as a follower who put himself in jeopardy by hanging out with a dangerous crowd. As a patriot, Aaron needed security, so he hired 2 friends from Bristol, both of whom had a criminal record. It was said that Aaron was extremely paranoid and had fits of rage. Aaron was constantly worried and paranoid, but why? And get this, in 2012, Aaron Hernandez had a second home, an apartment that was kept secret from his fiancée, Shayanna Jenkins. It was said it was used to store drugs and weapons. He would often go there to chain smoke marijuana. It was said that Aaron made the comment that he got his respect through weapons. And it was also said he was a member of a gang. But why would a successful football player need respect? Why would he need an apartment that was secretive? The entire thing doesn't make sense. In February of 2013, Aaron Hernandez and his best friend Alexander Bradley. Remember Alexander Bradley? He's the guy that says that Aaron Hernandez shot and killed Daniel De La Rue and Safira Furtado back in July of 2012 in Boston. Aaron and Alexander are at a strip club in Florida. Aaron, and several other people run up a $10,000 bill at this strip club. While they were at the strip club in Florida, Aaron becomes extremely paranoid, telling Alexander Bradley that there are 2 men dressed in plain clothes sitting next to them. Alexander Bradley says he tells Aaron Hernandez, "They probably tracking you and I. They probably looking at us for that double murder back in Boston." Aaron is extremely paranoid when Alexander Bradley says that. Around this time, Alexander Bradley and Aaron Hernandez began having a very troubled relationship. Alexander Bradley said on February 13th of 2013, he falls asleep in the car during that trip. He wakes up to Aaron Hernandez pointing a gun at his face. Next thing you know, police find Alexander Bradley shot with a bullet hole in between his eyes, bleeding in a parking lot. Alexander Bradley lives through this gunshot wound, but sadly loses his right eye. When police come to the hospital to interview Alexander Bradley tells police that he has no clue who shot him. And police notice that Alexander Bradley is not cooperating with them. But Alexander Bradley states that he didn't want to see Aaron Hernandez arrested. He wanted to get his own revenge. Why would Aaron Hernandez, his best friend, shoot him in the face? Why would Aaron Hernandez want to hurt his friend? What was the motive? Was Aaron worried that Alexander Bradley knew too much? Was Aaron worried that Alexander Bradley would go to the police and tell police that he killed 2 people, why would Aaron Hernandez shoot his best friend? Alexander Bradley knew he was going to get back at Aaron Hernandez in some type of way. Alexander Bradley had a very long criminal record. He even shut up a bar at one time. So Alexander Bradley knew that the cops were going to have a very hard time believing his story. Here was Alexander Bradley with this very long criminal record, and here was sweet, loving NFL star Aaron Hernandez, who played for the New England Patriots with no criminal record. So who were the cops going to believe? Aaron Hernandez and Alexander Bradley were friends at one time. But after the shooting, Alexander Bradley called Aaron Hernandez, and Aaron says, "Who's this?" Alexander Bradley says, "You know who this is." Aaron was extremely scared at this point. Throughout the months, Aaron Hernandez and Alexander Bradley exchanged several text messages, mostly discussing death threats and extortion. It was said that Alexander Bradley demanded $5 million from Aaron Hernandez to keep quiet. It was said that Aaron Hernandez came back and offered $1.5 million. Then it was said Alexander Bradley asked for $2.5 million, but Aaron Hernandez did not respond. But if Aaron Hernandez claims that he did not shoot Alexander Bradley, why was he going back and forth with numbers with Alexander Bradley? Don't you think he could have just said, "I didn't do it"? But according to Alexander Bradley, Aaron Hernandez and him were talking about a payout. Alexander Bradley wanted revenge against Aaron Hernandez, and he was going to get it some type of way. Aaron Hernandez knew that if Alexander Bradley wanted him dead, he would do it. Aaron was extremely paranoid at this time. And in 2013, Shayana Jenkins and Aaron Hernandez traveled to California for Aaron to have surgery. While there, the cops were contacted twice in a week by Shayana Jenkins, saying that Aaron Hernandez was extremely violent and drunk. Drugs and guns were found in the apartment, it was said. It was also said that Aaron Hernandez's older brother, DJ Hernandez, found Aaron alone on top of a roof, looking very flustered. It was said that Aaron was rubbing the barrel of the gun on his face. He looked defeated and extremely paranoid. On June 17, 2013, a young man is jogging in an industrial area when he spots a body. The police are called and they come to the crime scene. Police discover that the victim is shot multiple times and is deceased. They also find shell casings, a white towel, and a half-smoked blunt, and several surveillance cameras. While searching the body, the police find that the man is 27-year-old Odin Lloyd from Boston. But why was he there in this industrial area? The cops also find something else that is very intriguing. They find keys to a rented vehicle. And when the cops go to the rented vehicle place, they discover that the vehicle was rented to NFL player Aaron Hernandez. The cops know that Aaron Hernandez plays for the New England Patriots. The cops go to Aaron Hernandez's home. They see the lights are on, the TV's on, but no one is answering. This is when the cops become very worried. Was Aaron Hernandez in some type of danger? Why wasn't he answering the door? After 45 minutes, Aaron Hernandez emerges from the front door, looks at cops and says, "What do you want?" The cops asked them if he rented a car. He said, "Yes, I rented a car from my boy, O." And he says, "Who?" He said, "Odin Lloyd." He said, "Oh." He said, "Could you come to the police station and talk to us?" Aaron says no, but then Aaron agrees, and he and Shayana Jenkins go to the police station to discuss Odin Lloyd with the police. Shayana Jenkins drops Aaron Hernandez off at the police station, and as she is driving away, the cops pull Shayana Jenkins over as they want to discuss Odin Lloyd. They ask Shayana, "How do you know Odin Lloyd?" She says, "Oh, he dates my sister." Then they ask her, "How does Odin know Aaron?" She says, "Well, I believe that Odin is Aaron's weed dealer." The cops inform Shayana Jenkins that Odin is dead. Shayana looks very shocked and begins to cry. She had no clue that Odin Lloyd was dead. Aaron Hernandez's lawyer pulls up directly in front of the police station, and he opens his car door, and you see Aaron Hernandez in the passenger seat. The car is completely lit up as the door is open. And that is when the cops see something very shocking. While Aaron Hernandez is sitting in the passenger seat in the car, he is destroying his BlackBerry. He is taking his phone completely apart. But why? Why was Aaron Hernandez destroying his phone? The lawyer looks at the cops and says, "There will be no questioning tonight. We are leaving." The cops say, "Okay, but before you leave, can we have the cell phone?" The lawyer says, "No." The cops also find out that Aaron Hernandez has rented a Nissan Altima. And when police look at surveillance cameras, they see a Nissan Altima. Cops believe that Aaron Hernandez is somehow connected in these murders. But why? Why would Aaron Hernandez be connected in this type of murder? Aaron Hernandez was completely shocked, but cops served him with a search warrant. And they say while the search warrant was going on, Aaron Hernandez was as cool as a cucumber. He had absolutely no worries, y'all. He was sitting there playing with his baby, watching TV, didn't worry about anything. Cops never find a gun, but they find tons of surveillance videos that are still there at Aaron's home. Around this time, the media finds out what Aaron Hernandez is accused of. The media surrounds his house. And on June 20th of 2013, the media follows Aaron all the way to Gillette Stadium where the New England Patriots play. While there, Aaron Hernandez walks in, and the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft, looks at Aaron. He knows he's under heat and tells Aaron to get out of the stadium. Aaron Hernandez leaves the stadium. And at this time, the car rental place notifies police and tells police that she found a shell casing in the car, in the Altima, and that she threw the shell casing in the dumpster. Police go to the dumpster and they find the shell casing with a piece of blue bubble gum around the shell casing. It was said that Odin Lloyd was shot 6 times, but the cops only found 5 shell casings. So the cops were looking for that 6th shell casing. So when the cops were notified that a shell casing was found in that Altima and that lady threw it in the dumpster, police believe that was the 6th shell casing that they were looking for. And another thing, I'm just going to throw this out there. Why did Aaron Hernandez rent this Altima? Did he actually think he was not going to get caught? Because there are surveillance cameras everywhere these days. And there was even a surveillance camera around the industrial area where cops spotted a car that matched the Altima going in and out the industrial area. And that same car that looked like a Nissan Altima at Aaron Hernandez's home. So why did Aaron Hernandez feel the need to rent a vehicle? Did he think there was no surveillance cameras around? Because even if he would have went in his own car, he would have been caught. But he thought he was smarter than police. But when Aaron Hernandez rented that car for Odin Lloyd, and the cops went to the rental place and were notified that not only was a car rented to Odin, but that Aaron Hernandez rented a Nissan Altima, he was in trouble. The cops knew Aaron Hernandez was somehow involved in this murder, but how was he involved was the question. The cops send everything over to check for DNA. While the cops are looking at Aaron Hernandez's cell phone records, they see that Aaron Hernandez is in constant contact with Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz. They also notice through surveillance cameras that Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz arrive at Aaron's home. They all leave in the Nissan Altima, and they are seen picking up Odin Lloyd. Odin Lloyd must think something is wrong. He starts texting his sister saying, "Do you know who I'm with? NFL, just so you know." So maybe he sensed something was wrong. And about 30 minutes before Odin Lloyd is murdered, Aaron Hernandez is spotted at a gas station. And y'all, he is acting weird. He's dancing. You could tell he's singing. He's walking to the gas station. He goes inside. He purchases blue Bubblicious cotton candy bubble gum. He's having a good old time. He comes back to the car. That's when we see Carlos Ortiz with a white towel around his neck. And that is the same type of white towel that police discover at the crime scene near Odin Lloyd's body. Police contact Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz. Both of them say that they have nothing to do with anything, and both of them aren't talking. But after 9 hours of interrogating Carlos Ortiz, he finally breaks. And he says that yes, he was in the car. Yes, he was in the back seat of the car in the industrial park when Ernest Wallace, Odin Lloyd, and Aaron Hernandez stepped out of the vehicle. Carlos said he was about to step out of the vehicle when he hears gunshots. And that is when he notices Aaron Hernandez and Ernest Wallace running back to the vehicle. But he did not know who shot Odin Lloyd. But he did say that he did see Aaron Hernandez cradling the gun as he ran back inside the vehicle. But he did say he could not say who actually shot and murdered Odin Lloyd. Just 9 days after Odin Lloyd is murdered, cops arrive at Aaron Hernandez's home on June 26, 2013, and place Aaron Hernandez under arrest. He is charged with first-degree murder. Aaron opens the door shirtless. He is cuffed. Then his fiancée, Shayana Jenkins, throws down a white t-shirt to him. The cops place the white t-shirt on Aaron Hernandez, and they escort him out of his home. And that picture went viral. Everyone started wearing their shirts like Aaron Hernandez with their hands behind their back. Aaron Hernandez steps inside the cop car and he rides all the way to jail. Aaron Hernandez is also fired from the New England Patriots. Everyone was shocked that Aaron Hernandez may have been involved in this murder. Aaron Hernandez is denied bail and is going to spend some time in jail awaiting his trial. No one could figure out if Aaron Hernandez was involved in this type of crime. How can a guy like that be involved in a murder like this? Was Aaron Hernandez a killer? And if he was the killer, what was his motive? Why would he kill his friend Odin Lloyd? Why would he kill someone that could have been his family? Remember, Odin Lloyd was dating Aaron Hernandez's fiance's sister. Did Aaron Hernandez actually pull the trigger, or was it someone else? Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz are arrested as well. But the cops didn't know who pulled the trigger. Who killed Odin Lloyd? Was it Aaron? Was it Ernest? Or was it Carlos? No one knew. And cops do believe they had enough evidence to arrest Aaron Hernandez. 9 days after a murder seems very quick to arrest someone. As you all know, I investigate several cases. I always look into cases thinking I'm a detective from my couch. And I know that to arrest someone and charge them with first-degree murder, you have to have tons of evidence. And they aren't just arresting a regular person, they're arresting an NFL football player and charging him with first-degree murder. Cops knew Aaron was going to have the best lawyers there was. But where was the gun that killed Odin Lloyd? And why would Aaron kill Odin Lloyd? The day after the murders, Shayana Jenkins, Aaron Hernandez's fiance, is comforting her sister, Shania, after the death of her boyfriend, Odin Lloyd. While on surveillance camera, you see Shayana Jenkins, Aaron's fiance, taking several phone calls. You also see her comforting her sister, hugging her several times. Aaron Hernandez calls his fiance and says something to the fact of, there's a box in the basement that you want to get rid of. Shania says she sees her sister Shayana being very secretive and kept going down to the basement taking phone calls. She then sees Shayana with a black trash bag going down to the basement. Then she notices Shayana has a huge box of some sorts inside this trash bag that she is carrying to the car. But what is it? In my opinion, this is my opinion, it looks like some type of safe. Shayana is instructed by Aaron to get rid of whatever is in that trash bag, whatever is in that box. Shayana says that she believed it to be marijuana as it smelled like it. But in my opinion, Shayana Jenkins knew something was in there that she had to get rid of for Aaron Hernandez, and it was something that the cops were looking for. Shayana Jenkins claims that she drove to a dumpster and threw away whatever was in the trash bag, but she couldn't remember where and what dumpster she threw it in. Now, we all know we want to stand by our partners. I know I would stand by my man anytime he needed me. But don't you all think that Shayana asked Aaron what was in that box? Don't you think she wanted to know? Don't you think she did know what was in there that she was getting rid of? I do believe that Shayana Jenkins would do anything she could to stand by her man, which several of us would. So I do not want to cast judgment on Shayana Jenkins, but in my opinion, she was always going to stand by her man, and she was always going to do what Aaron needed her to do. And there is nothing wrong with that. But if there was something in that box and Shayana knew that it was something that the police needed and she discarded it because Aaron told her to, that is wrong. That is very wrong. I don't believe Shayana when she says she didn't remember what dumpster she threw it in. I do believe that Shayana Jenkins knew the dumpster she threw it in, but did not want to tell the cops where the dumpster was located. But that gun was never found. On January 29th, 2015, Aaron Hernandez's trial starts for the murder of Odin Lloyd. Prosecutors believe that Aaron Hernandez and Odin Lloyd got into an argument 2 days before the murder, and that Aaron Hernandez could not let this argument go. But why were they arguing? No one knows. Some people say that they were arguing because Odin Lloyd found out about the 2012 double murder involving Aaron Hernandez. Some people say that Odin Lloyd found out that Aaron Hernandez was gay and that Aaron Hernandez wanted to shut him up. Some people say that it was some kind of argument over drugs. In my opinion, this is only Anne Marie's opinion, form your own opinion. In my opinion, I believe that the argument was over drugs. That's just my personal opinion. I do believe it has something to do with drugs. A man came forward by the name of Nicholas, who was at the club the night that Aaron Hernandez and Odin Lloyd were there. He stated that he saw Aaron Hernandez burning a hole through Odin Lloyd. He said that it was obvious Aaron Hernandez was extremely upset with Odin Lloyd about something, but didn't know what it was. It was said that Aaron Hernandez left the club very angry, but no one knew why. Shania Jenkins, who is Shayana Jenkins' sister, she was the girlfriend of Odin Lloyd. She says that her sister was acting very secretive days after her boyfriend was murdered. She also says that while she was sitting down, she had just learned that her boyfriend was killed. And Aaron Hernandez came up to her, rubbed her shoulder, and said, "I've dealt with death before, and it's going to be hard at first, but in time, you will get better." And she said that is the only time her soon-to-be brother-in-law comforted her. She believed at this time that Aaron Hernandez may have killed her boyfriend, Odin Lloyd. The two sisters became very estranged. Shayana Jenkins was supporting her boyfriend, Aaron Hernandez, and Shania Jenkins was supporting her boyfriend's family. Both sisters were sitting on opposite sides of the courtroom, but they were both in support of their own boyfriends. Surveillance camera shows Aaron Hernandez arriving back home in the Nissan Altima with Carlos Ortiz and Ernest Wallace. They see Aaron Hernandez holding something that looks like it could be a Glock gun. They see him walking around with it, but the defense says it just looks like a black blob in his hand. In my opinion, it looks like a gun he is holding, and it looks like he was going down to the basement, but who knows what it was. But prosecutors believe that that was the gun that killed Odin Lloyd. On April 15th, 2015, Aaron Hernandez is found guilty of the murder of Odin Lloyd and is sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. A motive was never established. Aaron Hernandez gave power of attorney to his agent, stating to give his fiancée $3,000 a month and to help her find better housing. It was also said that he told his agent to put $500,000 aside for Shayana Jenkins, his fiancée, and for his daughter, AVL. Aaron Hernandez said he felt more content in jail than living at his home. He felt very comfortable and less stressed in prison. It was also said that he loved being there. He didn't mind being in jail. And think about it. Aaron Hernandez was in a 7,000 square foot mansion, and he felt more in sync in a jail cell. When you hear recorded conversations between he and his mother, he says that when he cleans his jail cell, he gets up, walks to the door, and turns around just to look how clean his jail cell is. Now, that's crazy to me. But think about it. He didn't have to think about paying bills, making people happy, stressing over anything. He was in there and he was okay with being in prison, which says a lot about his character. Aaron Hernandez broke several rules while in prison, including fighting, screaming, and banging on his cell door. I don't know why he was doing that, but he was very angry, they said, a lot of the time. Aaron Hernandez reconciled with his mother while in prison, and it was said that he spoke to his fiancée, Shayana, and his daughter, AVL, twice a day. He was very happy every time he spoke to his daughter, AVL. Everyone believes that it is over for Aaron Hernandez, but no. On May 15th, 2014, Aaron Hernandez is indicted on murder charges for the double murder of Daniel De La Rue and Sophia Furtado back in Boston in July of 2012. Aaron hires high-profile attorney Jose Baez, who represented Casey Anthony back in 2011. Jose Baez believes that Aaron Hernandez did not commit these murders. Alexander Bradley, who says that he was with Aaron Hernandez at the time, claims that Aaron Hernandez pulled the trigger. Aaron Hernandez claims that Alexander Bradley pulled the trigger. And remember that silver SUV that the cops were looking for that they say was involved in the murder? That silver SUV is found at Aaron's cousin's house, Tanya Singleton. It was in the garage and hadn't been used in over a year. The car was full of cobwebs on the outside and dirty, but on the inside it was spotless and it was cleaned. It looked completely deep cleaned from the inside. No one had used the car. The car is taken into custody. And then a lady gets into an accident or a traffic stop and they find a gun in her trunk. When cops ask the lady who the gun is for, she says the gun belongs to John Alcorn, a semi-professional football player from Bristol, Connecticut. They find out that his roommate is Tanya Singleton's cousin, Aaron Hernandez's cousin. They take the gun, and that gun matches the same gun involved in the double murder of Daniel De La Rue and Safiro Furtado. So cops believe that Tanya Singleton knows a lot about the situation. Prosecutors want Tanya Singleton to testify. At this time, Tanya is dying of breast cancer. She refuses to testify against her little cousin, Aaron Hernandez. Even though she is dying of cancer, Tanya Singleton is sent to jail. Tanya Singleton has since passed away from breast cancer, but she was going to do anything she could to protect her little cousin, Aaron Hernandez. In my opinion, Tanya Singleton knew a lot about the double murder that happened back in July of 2012. It was said that Aaron Hernandez told his lawyer, his mother, and his ex-girlfriend that he was in fact gay. Remember the ex-girlfriend, the one in Florida, that said she found inappropriate texts on Aaron's phone between him and another male? It was said that Aaron Hernandez and her were writing letters back and forth, and she claimed that he wrote her a letter and he stated how she had caught him. So Aaron Hernandez did tell people that he was gay. But was Aaron Hernandez comfortable with being gay was the question. While in prison, a man by the name of Kyle Kennedy claims that he was Aaron Hernandez's lover. He says he and Aaron were in a relationship. Kyle says that he and Aaron would cook food, smoke, get high, listen to music, just chill out, especially when they didn't want to be around other people. They would write letters to each other and just be in love. Kyle claims that Aaron initiated their relationship, and he says that they were in love with each other. I watched Kyle Kennedy's interview on the Reels channel, and I saw that Kyle Kennedy was in fact in love with Aaron Hernandez. Kyle Kennedy also reads a letter that Aaron Hernandez wrote him, a very detailed letter about what Aaron wanted to do with Kyle Kennedy. And it did seem like they were both very in love with each other. But Kyle Kennedy says that Aaron couldn't be who he wanted to be. Aaron Hernandez came from this macho family, and he felt like he couldn't come out and tell people who he really was. It was also said that Aaron claims that he felt like he was gay because he was essayed as a child and that made him gay, and he was angry about it. But who knows if Aaron really says that. But it was also said that Aaron was in extreme pain, that he couldn't be himself. He couldn't be who he wanted to be. And my heart goes out to anyone that is dealing with that situation. And like I always say, be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. Being in love with someone is an amazing feeling, no matter what or who they are. To be in love is a very magical thing. And Aaron Hernandez, if what he was going through was true, if he felt like he couldn't be who he wanted to be, that is a horrible feeling to have. And Aaron Hernandez may have had that feeling, and that's why he was acting out in all of this rage. But on April 14th, 2017, Aaron Hernandez is acquitted of the murders of Daniel De La Rue and Safira Furtado. He is found not guilty, and Aaron is preparing for his appeal on the murder of Odin Lloyd. He is ready to fight the murder charges once again. On April 19th, 2017 at 3:05 a.m., 5 days after Aaron Hernandez was acquitted of the 2012 Boston double homicide of Daniel De La Rue and Safira Furtado, officers found Aaron Hernandez hanging with bed sheets from the window in his cell. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at 4:07 a.m. He had been smoking K2, a drug associated with psychosis, within 30 hours of his death. A fellow inmate told investigators that he had spent much of the previous 2 days smoking. It was said that on April 20th, 2017, investigators reported that 3 handwritten notes were next to a Bible open to John 3:16, and that John 3:16 was written on his forehead in red ink. Shampoo was found covering the floor. Cardboard was wedged under the cell door to make it difficult for someone to enter, and there were drawings in blood on the walls. The 3 letters found in Aaron Hernandez's jail cell were addressed to Jose Baez, Shayana Jenkins, Aaron Hernandez's fiancée, and Aviel Hernandez, Aaron Hernandez's daughter. Following Aaron Hernandez's death, researchers at Boston University studied Aaron Hernandez's brain and diagnosed him with CTE, stage 3 of 4, which is extremely severe. CTE is caused by repeated head trauma. Aaron Hernandez had 2 confirmed concussions. Researchers describes he had the most severe case of CTE medically seen in a person of his age. Researchers suggested that the CTE, which results in poor judgment, lack of impulse control, or aggression, anger, paranoia, and rage behaviors, may have explained some of Aaron Hernandez's criminal acts and other behavior. It's impossible to look at the severity of CTE and Mr. Hernandez's brain not to think that it's a profound effect. The researchers suggest that the CTE, which results in poor judgment, lack of impulse control, or aggression, anger, paranoia, and rage behaviors, may have explained some of Aaron Hernandez's criminal acts and other behaviors. Aaron Hernandez experienced migraines in prison and had trouble with memory. Jose Baez wrote that he saw symptoms consistent with CTE from his earliest meetings with Aaron. Aaron sometimes showed keen insight of skills, while other times he had gaps in memory that were highly unusual for a young person. After release of the Boston University statement, Aaron Hernandez's fiancée and daughter sued the Patriots and the NFL for causing Hernandez's death and depriving his daughter of her father's companionship, arguing that Aaron Hernandez's NFL career had caused what research describes as the most severe case of CTE medically seen in a person of his age. The suit was dismissed in February of 2019 because the deadline to opt out of class action suit against the league had been missed. Aaron Hernandez was one of at least 345 NFL players to be diagnosed after death with CTE. I did not know what CTE was until I researched this case. I looked CTE up, I Googled it, and I learned several things about it. I was also very shocked to learn that over 300 NFL players were diagnosed with CTE after their death. It scares me to know that these football players have so much head trauma when all they want to do is play football. They didn't realize how bad they were getting hurt. They didn't realize how much head trauma they had. And what also shocked me was when I saw a picture of Aaron Hernandez's brain, and it was sitting next to the brain of a normal 27-year-old brain. And it freaked me out when I saw the two brains next to each other. And that is when I realized how much head trauma Aaron Hernandez had endured while playing football. The difference in the two brains was crazy. It was a shock to me. I want all of you who play football to always be careful, because you never know what could happen, and you never know what kind of head trauma you could be coming into. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, do I believe Aaron Hernandez murdered Odin Lloyd? Yes. Do I believe that Aaron Hernandez murdered Daniel De La Rue and Safira Furtado? Yes. And lastly, do I believe that Aaron Hernandez shot Alexander Bradley? Yes. I do believe that Aaron Hernandez was in fact a serial killer. I do believe that Aaron Hernandez was dealing with several demons in his head, and it was all messing him up. I do believe that CTE had a huge part of Aaron Hernandez's decision making. I think it was making him extremely paranoid, along with the marijuana. I do believe that Aaron Hernandez couldn't be himself and wanted to be himself. And I'm going to stand on that for a second. And I'm going to tell you, I want all of you to know something. You need to love who you want to love. Be who you want to be. If you are in love with someone that is the same sex, who cares? That is your decision. That's how you feel. And I always tell my kids, love who you want to love. Be who you want to be. I strongly believe that. I think you can love who you want to love. Being in love is an amazing feeling, and I have that feeling every day with my man. And I think everyone should experience being in love and being wanted and desired. And I don't like the fact that Aaron may have felt he couldn't be the person he wanted to be. And that broke my heart. But that doesn't give Aaron Hernandez the right to kill anyone. It doesn't give him the right to pull the trigger and kill several innocent people for no apparent reason. I cannot get over the fact that Aaron Hernandez felt that he had to murder people in order to earn respect. And if Aaron Hernandez murdered Daniel De La Rue and Safira Furtado for spilling a drink, that's just insane to me. But that could be the CTE. He could have been suffering at that moment from the head trauma. But in my opinion, that is still no excuse for his behavior. He did not have to murder 3 innocent people. And I could be wrong. Aaron Hernandez could have not killed one person. He could have been a person that was not guilty. I don't know. But in my opinion, Anne Marie's opinion, I do believe that Aaron Hernandez did murder 3 people. And I do believe that he was on the fast track to becoming a serial killer, because Aaron Hernandez felt like he was invincible. He felt that he wasn't going to get caught. No one would have believed this NFL star who just signed this $40 million contract, had a beautiful fiance, a beautiful daughter, would commit murder. No one would have believed that. No one would have thought that. And I could be wrong. Aaron Hernandez could have never shot and killed anyone. But at this point, in my opinion, after researching the case, there was so much evidence that I just can't overlook. And I really do, in my opinion, believe that Aaron Hernandez did murder 3 people. And it was said there could be more, but I don't believe that. I do believe that it was these 3 men. It could be more. I don't know. Y'all give me y'all comments down below and y'all tell me if y'all believe there were more victims. And I also want y'all opinions. Do y'all believe that Aaron Hernandez was guilty of murder? He was found guilty of Odin Lloyd's murder, but he was found not guilty of Daniel De La Brue and Safira Furtado. But do y'all think he was guilty? In my opinion, Aaron Hernandez thought he would get away with murder, but he didn't. My heart goes out to Aaron Hernandez's fiancée, Shayana, his mother, Terry, his brother, DJ, and lastly, his beautiful, precious daughter, AVL, who I'm sure misses her dad every single day. I know this video was very long. I appreciate y'all watching this video. And I hope that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings and always know that I'm here for you. And I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight on Thriller Thursday. And for you, I am truly grateful. I love all of y'all, and I will see y'all next week. And as always, kisses. Bye.